Hello, everybody, and we are in great presence. None other than Uly, the Monster Diaz.
Diaz with the big left hand. Want to be a bare-knuckle fighter on the smallest surface of combat sports. And he goes down again. And it is all over, just like that. Uly Diaz.
It feels great. It feels great to fight for an amazing promotion organization that really cares about their fighters and really, are there for whatever you need, and I can't wait to come back now May 10th and do what I do.
Well, back in February, you started 2024 with a bang. You came back after almost over a year of absence, and that was a tough fight. It was a controversial fight, but yet you came up with your hand up. You were in your backyard. Family was there, your friends were there. How bad did you miss that?
Man, I love fighting. As everybody knows my story, fighting saved my life, took me off, a world that I was living in, put me in this world, which is, it's amazing. It's been a blessing. It's always great to fight in my backyard with my fans and my family watching. And, in that fight in January, it was, I had a year off. My training was up and down during that year because everybody knows I was going, I was in and out of the hospital with my son. So getting back there, it was a rush. It was a rush of adrenaline. This time, I think I started too fast in that fight. I didn't really stick to a game plan. I think this time around we're going to stick to a game plan and I really give, the fans a great fight.
Game plan, fight plan, conditioning, key. Especially because in Denver, you're going to be facing Zion Tomlinson. We gotta talk about the obvious. We've known each other for a while. Not many at your age will sustain that kind of rhythm. Doing 2-a-days, 3-a-days, the dieting, the staying in shape camp. It's intense. What are you gonna do to prepare while you're fighting a young man who's only 23 years old?
Nothing's changed except obviously stepping on the gas a little bit more when it comes to training, and we know that Denver is at high altitude. Mm-hmm. It gives people some problems when it comes to cardio.
So how are you going to adjust that?
We're working behind the scenes, doing a lot of interval training, a lot of sprinting training, a lot of, it's a lot of breath work that helps as well. And I think we're going to be more than ready in May when it comes to fight Zion. We're really preparing, and we know that our biggest factor and our biggest opponent is going to be the altitude and the cardio. So they say if you can't breathe, you can't fight. So we're making sure we can breathe and make it to the fight very evenly.
It's funny you mentioned that because last year we had this young man, Julio Tanori, and he got his first title in Denver. And the one thing he said, I wasn't fighting my opponent, I was fighting myself because he was having a hard time breathing, even though he's a very well-experienced, very well-trained boxer and striking was his forte. But he felt he was totally drained by the second round. So if that's a young man only at 19, imagine at our age, that's going to take a major toll.
Sure.
But with that being said, he dug deep because he was fighting the shark. And that was a fight that obviously was fight of the year. When we talk about digging deep, especially with you, Uly, you know how to dig deep. What does that mean to you?
Man, with everything I just went through just last year and in life in general, I have a lot to dig deep with and a lot to dig deep for. So if anybody's seen my fights from prior, they know I have that dog in me that everybody says they have. It, mine's been tested, mine's battle tested, and I'm ready to go, and with all the talking that either me and you do or that gets done on the internet and all that, none of that means nothing until the night of the fight, when it's time to show off what everything that we've been doing.
It's funny you say that because we were preparing for this interview, and somebody said, Zion is talking a lot of posts, social media allows for all that to go on. And my comment to that was, do you know Uly? He doesn't care.
Right.
You really don't care. I have yet to see. The only time I've seen you rattled, it was because of comment that we were making regarding your why. Because of your son, the type of war that he's led for the last year. And that's the only time I've ever seen you rattled. Obviously, I'm on the outside. Has there ever been a time that you have been moved?
So going back to what happened with what you guys said, it wasn't really rattled. It was just my response to what you guys had said. I got cut in that fight that you're talking about, and you were saying that, it's an exhibition. It was you and Antonio Torres saying, like, you don't have to push this forward. To me, no matter what it is, I have to push myself that far. To me, the internet talk doesn't count for anything. To me, words have never made anybody bleed. At the end of the day, again, we got to show up there, and all that shit you're talking, you got to prove it to me once we get in that trigon. So no, nothing really rattled me. Nobody really gets on my nerves like that. To me, it's all little kid talk, and from the world I come from, again, from the streets, like, it embarrasses me even to think that I'm gonna get on my phone and type back to you yeah. I think that's embarrassing.
Very mature, because the truth is, even though when I was making that comment, the following comment was, you guys don't know Uly. Yeah. I know he digs deep, and there is no quit in you. But moreover, not only is there no quit in Uly, but there's no getting angry. There's no frustration. There's no grudges, because I've seen you, even you've had certain exchanges, but even then, once that was done, it was settled, you just carry on.
To me, it's all business.
How?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, to me, it's all business. We're in here, to get a paycheck. I handle myself well. I respect everybody. And again, with all the trash talk you want to do behind the scenes, because you're trying to amp yourself up. You're trying to put yourself on a pedestal and give yourself attention. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to hold up to all that. And once May 10th comes and my hand's raised, all that internet talk is going out the door, And again, it embarrasses me just to think of myself getting on a phone or a computer or anything. It's easy for anybody to be behind the screen and, oh, this guy this or this guy that.
We should take note. That's a very mature way of taking things. But with that being said, I've seen your life change in the last decade, 10 years. Your beautiful wife, she's an integral part of your evolution. And I want to delve into how much deeper you dig, because there's a level of spirituality that most people don't know. And I hope that you don't mind me asking, how has that part of your life helped you become not only a fantastic human being, but the great warrior that you are?
Man, my wife is a huge motivation and inspiration in my life. She, helps me not only be the man that I am today, but, it helps me in every aspect of my life, especially with my son. She's a great, stepmom to my son. And again, the digging deep part is just from, who knows, a lifetime of trauma, and I'm here today doing what I love to do, getting a paycheck for it, getting opportunities like this to be able to speak to you. And I know that, the fight, as bad as it gets, is only for a few moments in your life. So in those few moments, you could either have regret for the rest of your life, or you could say, you know what, I gave it all I got for the rest of my life, And I want to look back and say I gave it all I got, I don't want to have any regrets.
So a very young fighter many years ago said these words to me that resonate very clearly with what you just said. He said, pain is temporary. Regrets and glory are forever. So, and I get goosebumps when I'm sharing this with you, because I have seen you rise from the ashes. And when there's a young man or a young lady out there and looks at you as an example, what kind of words would you share from your life experience, as traumatic as it has been, how beautiful it is now?
One thing I love to share with everybody, and, anybody that knows me out there knows me for these words, is stay consistent. Consistency is key. When you start something, it's always going to be hard at the beginning. The more you work and the more consistent you stay, the easier it gets. Everybody's going to have bad days. We're all human. But the more consistent you stay, the better your days get and the less bad days you have.
I love that, because when I talk to most of our fighters, the one thing that they already rely on is the structure. And that will actually mitigate whatever mistake or downfall that they have. And even when they do make a mistake, like we all have, that structure will allow you to get back into the rhythm of things more. Uly, is there a roof or ceiling, a limit to your capabilities? Because for those that don't know, he has his own movie. He's a motivational speaker. You have your own podcast. An extraordinary fighter. Is there a limit to your capability?
I don't like to put limits on myself, or I don't like to put limits on anybody else. So limits don't exist in my world. You know, I like to keep irons in the fire, and you never know which one's going to get hot first. So I just keep going, and any opportunity I get, I'm grateful for. I'm very thankful to be in this position, to be having these opportunities. So there's no limits. We're going as far as possible.
So fighting Zion Tomlinson, who's only 23 years old.
Right.
What can we expect from that fight?
You can expect fireworks. You know, Zion, with all the trash talking he does behind the computer, he's a good fighter. He's a tough kid, and I know he's gonna bring it. You guys can expect me to bring it, as I always do. So definitely expect fireworks, and definitely you can take this to the bank. Expect me to have my hand raised at the end of this fight.
There you have it, from his mouth. So thank you for your time. We look forward to this, and I always love talking to you.
Thank you. I love talking to you too. I love talking to you, and I appreciate every opportunity you give me. Thank you.
Thank you.
BYB's biggest bare-knuckle stars return to Denver, Colorado on Friday, May 10th for BYB 26. Mile High Brawl. Catch all the action live at the Stockyards Event Center. Friday, May 10th. Visit BYBExtreme.com for tickets and information.
I show people I got technique.
The Trigon is open for battle.